Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. Yeah, very good evening to everyone. I hope, yes, Srinath, very good evening, welcome to the session. So we will see the current affairs of today, and the articles that we are going to cover are these things. So we'll see. First one, Bengaluru water crisis. So you might have seen in the social media about the water crisis in Bengaluru, how severe it is. Like even for drinking, they are struggling, right? So we will see about what is the cause. We will also see the city of Bengaluru. What is the features, salient features, and then the lakes. So all the details about this before going into the reasons for the water crisis. Then Agniban sorted, so a new rocket from the private entities. We will see about that as well. And then Signals Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group from Indian Army. We will see the details, what is the purpose of it and why we need this particular group. Then there are three important reports. So in the exams, mostly the reports are asked based on who publishes this, right? If there is any ranking, then of course, yes, India's rank and the top 3 ranks will also be asked. So we will see the reports. There are 3 important reports of published in various newspapers, Hindu or Indian Express. State of Global Climate Report by World Meteorological Organization, and then Women Business and the Law Report by World Bank. Profits and Poverty, the Economics of Forced Labor Report, so International Labour Organization. We will not only see about who publishes them, we will also see the details about the report, what they have published in brief, whatever relevant for our exam. And then we have some factual pointers, 3-4 factual pointers which may be relevant or directly asked in the exam. And finally, we will also see some practice questions, right? So I hope you are ready with the ready for the session, and in case if you have any doubts, you can ask here. Okay? Yeah. So without a delay, we'll go to the session. Hi Rajkumar and very good evening Malini. Welcome to the session. First article is about the Bengaluru water crisis. Yes, the questions may come from various aspects. They may ask you reasons. They may ask you about where Bengaluru is situated and what is the history. So those things are all possible. We will see about the Bengaluru city as well before going into the crisis of water that the city has seen. Okay. So the context is very direct, that since few days or even you can consider few weeks, Bengaluru is facing severe water crisis. Okay. So they are trying to take the measures, but still half of the city is under the acute water crisis. So that's why we have taken this article. And if you are from civil engineering background, then you will be little bit interested as well about the reasons, right? So we'll see why it is. Yes, before going into the crisis, water crisis, let's also see about the Bengaluru city. Okay, so there is a lot of questions on Bengaluru cities in Bengaluru city from previous examinations, covering central as well as state PSC. So yes, as the city is in crisis, we have to know about the city as well. This is the 3rd most populated city after Delhi and Mumbai. Those 2 are most populated ones, and Bengaluru is the 3rd most populated city in India. Okay, so this is called with the different names, Silicon City, because silicon is used in the chip making, right? So software is prevalent, or Bengaluru is a hub of software, so that's why it is called as Silicon City. And then it is also called as Garden City because there's a lot of biological gardens, right, located in the Bengaluru. For example, Lal Bagh is one such example. It is also called as IT hub and then pub city because of the nature or the prevalence of pubs across Bengaluru city, right? So these facts are all very important related to the Bangalore. Also, this is located in the southeast of the Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Plateau is located, if you see in India, the India map, briefly, don't worry about the cleanliness of the map. So if it is India, then Deccan Plateau is located here, okay, in the Peninsular Plateau, the southern part. So this Bengaluru is located on the southeast of the Deccan Plateau. Okay, that is also very important. And this is located in the Mysore Plateau. Within Deccan Plateau, we have a Mysore Plateau. A plateau means a plain region, right? So this is located in the southeast part of Deccan Plateau on the center of the Mysore Plateau, right? Also, some other important facts that we need to know. This is located on the elevation of 3,000 feet, more than 3,000 feet from the mean sea level. So if this is the mean sea level, So it is located on the higher level. That's why Bengaluru see a very moderate or cool climate. Even in summer, we don't have too much of hot in the Bengaluru city because it is located on the higher elevations. As you move above from the earth's surface, you will feel the coldness. The temperature gets decreased, right? So that's why, as it is located in the higher elevations, we have a cool and pleasant climate in the Bengaluru city throughout the year. Also, the founder of Bengaluru city, they may also ask you this in the exam. The founder of Bengaluru city is Kempegowda I. He is the governor under Vijayanagara kingdom. So you all know Vijayanagara kingdoms, very popular rulers across Andhra, Telangana and Karnataka region. So Kempegowda is the governor under one of the provinces in the Vijayanagara kingdom. So he was the founder of Bengaluru city, and as he visualized that Bengaluru city will be propelled into number of much bigger hub. So there was lot of water bodies were created in the city by this Kempegowda I. So such a visionary thing, he has created lot of lakes and all in the city for the water supply. Also, we can take one more example. So see, these are all we are discussing about the water crisis only. We have number of lakes which were created way back in 16th century, right? Lot of lakes were there. Similarly, Diwan of Mysore. After Vijayanagaras, Mysore came under Sultanate kings, right? So this Diwan of Mysore, Mirza Ismail, has also created Nandi Hill waterworks. So Nandi Hills is just outskirts of the Bengaluru city. So there was lot of waterworks which were created during the Mysore Sultanate kingdoms as well. So it is not that Bengaluru does not have water. It do have that. But what has happened after that, we will see. That's what it created the water crisis. Okay, and Bengaluru receives 4/5 of its total amount of water from Kaveri river. This will also be asked in the exam, right? So Kaveri river water is the heart and soul of the Bengaluru city. 4/5 of the total amount of water receives from the Kaveri river, and rest of the things, there are some reservoirs like Arkavati river and all tributaries of Kaveri also provide some other water sources for Bengaluru city, right? So as it is also called as garden city. We have seen number of popular biological gardens are located, including the Lal Bagh and Kabban Park. So these are all the details about the Bengaluru city. You also need to observe the Bengaluru city where it is located, right? So this is the location in the map. They may ask whether where it is located towards Chennai or Hyderabad. So they may also ask you that thing, right? So that's why I'm showing you the map as well. Okay. Now, after knowing the factual things about the Bengaluru city, now let's understand the water crisis. Why the water shortage has happened in Bengaluru city. The main reason is this: in 2023, that is last year, the monsoon was a deficit. Usually, Bengaluru approximately receives 120 to 150 centimeters on an average, and in monsoon season, approximately 300 centimeters. So that was the rainfall, and it was a deficit, 18% below normal. So the monsoon rainfalls that Bengaluru city has received last year was 18% below than normal rainfall. That is one reason. As Karnataka received most of rainfall from monsoon season, we have monsoon starting from southwest monsoon starting from June, right, every year. So major sources is southwest monsoon, and it was a failure, right? So that is one reason. And this, whenever there is a rainfall, there are aquifers. Aquifers means it is like a bed which can store water underground. There are aquifers, different types of aquifers, and if you are a civil engineer, you might be aware about it. So there are aquifers, and whenever there is a sufficient rainfall, they store for longer period. So even during the crisis, whenever there is lack of rainfall, so this water stored in the aquifers are used for the city, right? So these aquifers, one of the core feature of Bengaluru is that these aquifers are boulder, like they are rocky in nature, unlike the silt like sand or clay, which can store water for longer period. The underground nature of Bengaluru is that they are rocky in nature, right? The aquifers are rocky in nature. So this rocky nature takes the water much faster. See, visualize yourself. So as they are boulders, the water can easily infiltrate. The gaps are much higher as the permeability or the pores within the soil is much bigger. So water will easily seep and also it will get exhaust much faster way, right? So that's why there is a failure of monsoon, these aquifers could not able to store more water, right? And the water that was already stored were exhausted. They have taken back. They have already used, right? So that is the most important reason, technical reason from the Bengaluru city, right? So the groundwater was almost disappeared. The utility has already been happened, right? Also, one more important reason is the type of constructions that has happened. There are number of lakes created by Kempegowda and many other historians, but what has happened? We have converted them into buildings, what you call the roads, whatever the infrastructure that we have created was not properly planned. Most of the lakes has exhausted. So the water that are being stored in those lakes was removed from the city due to the urbanization, the constructions that has happened. So by clubbing all these reasons, now we are seeing the crisis in Bengaluru city. We have seen the monsoon, the technicality, because El Nino was there last year. We have discussed in one of the class about the El Nino, right? Whenever there is a El Nino, India receives the less amount of monsoon rainfall. So because of these reasons, both technical as well as the man-made, we ourselves has made this to happen, right? So because of these things, Bengaluru is facing severe water crisis. And this is a very, very warning for all the cities like Delhi, Hyderabad. So if we are keep on continuing with the same type of approach in developing our country, then yes, we are going to face the water crisis in almost all the cities, right? So as a person, as an individual, from your side as well, it should be your responsibility to sustainably use the water resources, right? So that is about the crisis, water crisis in Bengaluru city. Any doubts in this? Okay. So moving to the next article, Agniban sorted, right? So it is a shortcut, very factual in nature. Anyway, there is a lot of not too much concept to be explained. And why we have taken this article? Agnikul Cosmos, a company, Chennai-based startup, like how SpaceX was there, right? As America, private space organization. Similarly, Agnikul Cosmos is a private startup supported by IIT Madras. So this startup, this private startup related to the space is going to launch India's first rocket from private launch pad. Till now, we all know that ISRO has a launch pad from Satish Dhawan Space Research Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. So this launch pad was made by ISRO itself. So it is a public, that means government owned. But now a new launch pad was created in same Sriharikota. So in the same Sriharikota, the company or the startup has created a separate launch pad, right? So this launch pad, India's first rocket from private launch pad is going to be launched from Sriharikota day after tomorrow. That is on March 22nd. So there was an article in the Indian Express about the same, right? So the company, first rocket, this was named as Agniban Suborbital Technology Demonstrator. So this is the full form, sorted. Agniban Suborbital Technology Demonstrator. So orbital means which is around the Earth, right? So if this is Earth, or for example this is Earth, we have a orbit surrounding it. And suborbital means which is a lower height. So it is being launched in this suborbital level, right? So that's why we have taken this article. Now we will see about the Agniban Suborbital Technology Demonstrator. What is this and all, right? So it is a single stage launch vehicle. You all know whenever there is a rocket going into the sky, if you observe rocket launch, whenever ISRO has done, so some part, there are 3 stages. First stage will come with, there is a different engine, liquid engine, and then there is a solid engine, solid rocket engine, and then cryogenic engine. We have a different 3 stages. So this will come, and then the final satellite will be launched into the orbit. But now, this is a single stage launch vehicle. So there is no 3 parts coming out of before going into the satellite orbit. So here only one stage, one will be removed and directly it will be placed in the orbit. Very, very important, right? Also, they have developed Agnilet engine. So we want engine for rockets, right? So there are different solid engine we have discussed in case of ISRO. So they have developed Agni-let engine, and this is going to be launched. This is going to be used, and this engine was prepared entirely using 3D printed technology. 3D printed means first a small layer will be created and layer will be added. So it is a micro level construction which is very accurate, precise one. So this was the entire construction has happened using the 3D printing technology, which is a very good feature. In the future we are going to use this, right? So it also uses semi-cryogenic engine. We have discussed in one of the sessions about the cryogenic engine, CE, cryogenic engine, where it will take the oxygen in the atmosphere as a fuel, right? So this is like a not completely used using the atmospheric oxygen. They are going to use oxygen and kerosene. So they are going to use some kerosene is there, and beyond that they are also going to use the atmospheric oxygen. That's why it is a semi-cryogenic. It is not completely cryogenic engine. Okay. It is a customable launch vehicle that could be launched in 1 or 2 stages. So as of now they are going with the 1 stage, but in future they can also go with the 2nd stage so that it can push for longer distance into the space, right? So this is these are all the features of sorted technology. You need to remember the single stage and then Agni-let engine, which is developed by 3D printing technology, and use of semi-cryogenic engine as well, right? Also, this rocket stands 18 meters tall. The rocket that was constructed to be launched in single stage is total 18 meters, and the total weight is 14,000 kgs. All are facts, you have to remember, that's all. There is no concept as such to explain. So this is about the 14,000 kgs, and they can carry the payload. Payload means what the satellite carries with it, right? We have discussed this in many of the, whatever the instruments that are kept in the satellites to study, those are called as payloads. So payloads up to 100 kgs can be carried. Very, very important to be remembered, right? So ISRO vehicles carry 4,000 4,000 kg payloads, but this is just 100 kg, and it can go up to 700 kilometers into the space. So this is the capacity of distance of this rocket. Also, the rocket's first stage is used through Agni-let engines. We have already discussed this, right? So this is powered by liquid oxygen and kerosene. That's why it is called as a semi-cryogen, right? This engine uses atmospheric oxygen as a fuel, also some kerosene. That's why it is not completely cryogenic. Completely cryogenic means used completely of the atmospheric oxygen, but here they are also using the kerosene as a fuel, right? So that's why it is a semi-cryogenic engine. There are a lot of facts about it, okay? So that's why we have covered all the things here in single place. So the launch ports, the rocket designed for launch from different ports. Usually the rocket has to fix at the launch pad, right? It is suitable. So this rocket was designed in such a way that it can launch from 10 different types of launch pads, which is a flexible in nature. That is also important. So the launch pedestal, which was launched for different types of patterns, that was called as Dhanush. The launch pad name is called as Dhanush. You can see here. So this is the launch pad, okay? So these are all facts which we need to remember for our exam, okay? Now, what is the significance of this? There are certain pointers, certain significance to India from this launch. So what is this? This is the first launch from the private launch pad. We have already discussed, that is one thing. Also, it is India's first semi-cryogenic engine. We have a cryogenic engine launched by ISRO, but there is no semi-cryogenic which can use atmospheric oxygen as well as some other fuel like kerosene. So it is a first India's semi-cryogenic engine as well. Now, it is also the world's first single-piece 3D printed engine. Not only in India, but in the world, this is the first single 3D printed engine. So all these are significant points to be remembered and the special features of this rocket, right? So what we have seen this from this article, we have seen that there is a Agnikul Cosmos, a startup from IIT Madras, is going to launch the first India's private rocket from different launch pad, right? Other than the ISRO's one. Now we have seen the features of it. You have to remember this, the capabilities, the weight that can carry, what fuel it is using, all these things you have to Remember, because this is the first private launch. If there are number of private launches, it is not relevant. We can directly do the ISRO related, whatever ISRO has launched, that will become more important. But this is the first private one, so they may ask you this in the exam. Okay, any doubts in this? Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can point out here. The next article is Signals Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group, STEG. Signal Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group. So Indian Army has established this, right? So Indian Army has established this. Okay, so that's why we have taken this. It was established yesterday only, so it becomes important for our current affairs. Now, what is this group about? Before that, let's understand the present scenario of the wars across the world. Now, wars are not just fought at the physical level. There are a lot of cyber attacks, there are a lot of technology, communication, hacking. So there is a lot of other things coming, which there is no need of physical fight between the two countries or two enemies, right? So that's why as the world is progressing towards the new digital wars, India has to be ready for it, right? So because of that, the Indian Army has launched its first of its kind specialized technology unit. It is a technology unit where they are going to do research and evaluation of various technologies related to the digital wars. That's what the main aim is. They are going to introduce 5G, 6G, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, everything they are going to include, and they are going to research how the new equipment can be launched to compete with the other countries which are ahead with us. Like you can take example of China. They have a lot of hacking technology, lot of digital technology, cyber attacks. So these are all being used against the enemies, right? So even it was noted that some Mumbai electricity was stopped or hacked by the Chinese hackers, right? So that's why Indian Army has come up with a new research and analysis wing related to the new emerging technologies in the defense, right? So that is the objective. Now, it will develop a tailored approach. It includes everything. This is very generic in nature, what are all the technologies include and all, software, machine learning, everything will be. So tailored technology means specific, very precise. So those technologies are going to be tested or researched here, right? So that's it, a small article. What is the objective and who established, that is sufficient for our exam. Next one, a report. We have three important reports. Mostly who releases this report becomes very important. So there was a new report, State of Global Climate 2023, and this was launched by or released by World Meteorological Organization. Okay, so the report title is important and who released this important, and very important feature of the report is that last year 2023 is the hottest year ever on record. Since we have noticed all these things, the temperatures, right, since industrial revolution, this is the hottest year in the world, 2023. So that is what the report has said. Okay, yeah, thank you for the response. As you don't have doubt, it's become very easy for me to move ahead to the next article. Okay, so the report is this, 2023 is the hottest year ever that was recorded on Earth. Now, let's see some observations as well. Okay, from the report, it has said some observations. There is a increase in greenhouse gases on the Earth, right? So greenhouse gases means, you can see this diagram as well. There is a sunlight coming from the sun and entering into the Earth's atmosphere, right? And those heat or hot should reflect back or go back into the atmosphere. That is the natural scenario. So sunlight will come and hit Earth. Some part will be absorbed, of course. Some part of sunlight will be absorbed by plants and all. Rest has to be reflected back into the atmosphere so that Earth as a whole will not get heated up. So that is the natural phenomena. But now what is happening? Because of the increased availability of certain greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. So these are the potent greenhouse gases. What these gases will do? They will absorb the sunlight and they will remain in the Earth's atmosphere itself. So because of the increased observation of sunlight and remain in the atmosphere of Earth, So the temperatures gets increased. So that is called as the greenhouse gas effect. These gases will make capture of the sunlight and then they will remain in the Earth's atmosphere. That's how the temperatures of Earth increases, because they are reduced reflection back of the sunlight into the atmosphere, right? So this is the greenhouse gas effect. So this greenhouse gas effect, the major gases are this, right? So some other gases are there like ozone and all. Anyway, so this observation says that the increased temperatures are because of the greenhouse gas effect, right? So this is one thing. Similarly, there were few more important observations. The average increased temperature. For example, in a year, the average temperature, considering all the days, they will note the temperatures of all the days divided by 365. Say for example, it was 23 degrees. So now, after industrial revolution, which was happened in 18th and 19th century across the world, so there was a spike of 1.45 degrees of temperature on the earth when we compare to the 19th century. So which is a very high number, right? And most of the heat was absorbed by oceans. Almost 90% of the heat that was increased on the earth was absorbed by oceans. So this means what? Ocean acidification may happen, thermal nature of oceans will increase, the fishes, whatever the livelihood that are in the oceans like coral reefs, mangroves, all these things will be affected, and directly or indirectly they are going to impact our human life, right? So this is very good warning that we need to take as a whole human community, right? Also, one more observation the report has made, that Antarctic ice is getting what you call plummeted. I mean, it removed because of the excess heat. This ice will get melt and that will convert into water, and there is a sea level rise. So the coastal communities which are residing will be again affected. So the land mass will keep reducing in the next maybe around 300-400 years. The land mass, the water will come into the land masses as well in the future, right? So these are all the report has noted. So that is also important for our exam. Okay. Now, as this report is released by World Meteorological Organization, we need to know about the World Meteorological Organization as well, the facts related to it, who established, when it was established, what is its duty. So all these things are also very important for our exam. So it is a specialized agency under United Nations. You all know United Nations is a world organization that regulates the international relations, right? So this is a specialized agency under United Nations itself, and it takes care of the climate related events across the world. So the duty is to report the climate related events across the world and make a report, publish in front of the public, so that we will take measures to address them, right? So that is its duty. It was established in 1950. Earlier, we had a International Meteorological Organization which was established in 1873, way back in 1873. So in 1950, this was removed and it was replaced with the World Meteorological Organization, right? So its headquarters is located in Switzerland, Geneva, in Switzerland. So as of now, we have 187 members in the World Meteorological Organization, right? So this is about the article, the report, the name of the report, and then who releases it, and about this organization, as well as some notable things for our exam. Any doubts in this? Yeah, fine. Next report, Women, Business and Law Report. Women, Business and Law Report. It was published by World Bank. It was published by World Bank. Again, this article was taken from the Indian Express. The report, they will give the title and who releases it. So don't confuse, as Women Business are there, you may confuse with other organizations. So it was released by World Bank, and the report said woman earns just 77 cents for every dollar. So $1 equal to 100 cents, right? So as for each man who are earning 100 cents, women are earning only 77 cents. That means 23% difference in wage are there, right? So there is a gender inequality. The men are earning more and the women are earning less. This is because our society is prevalent with the certain gendered roles, that woman has to do certain work, man has to earn, they should be breadwinners. So something like that, there is a superstitious beliefs in the human societies. So that's why there is a difference, right? So that's why we have taken this article. So gender gap pay means the average salary earned by all the men and then compare it with the all women. So it is women are earning less because they are involved in the domestic work. That's what the report is saying. Okay. So women are not involved in paying jobs and much men are owing to the gender roles, right? So that's what this gender inequality pay has happened. Also, one more other important observation, fewer women than men are in management and leadership roles. So in the like manager, chief executive officer, so there are higher officers in the hierarchy, whatever the work that you are doing. So the lesser women are occupying the higher positions. Mostly men are occupying those higher positions. So that's why there is a unequal pay as well, because the higher position have higher salaries. So this is again one more observation. And one more other observation made by the report is that as the women grow elderly, I mean as the woman ages increases from 30-40, their capacity to earn more money gets reduced because of other works and all, right? So this is also the one more observation, right? Very brief report, no need to worry about reading too much observations. Whatever that are relevant, directly relevant for our exams, so those observations are enough, right? Okay, fine. The last report for today, I mean the last article, profits and poverty. This reports will ask directly, if you are writing the lower level of exams like grade 2, 3, 4, they will directly ask who released the report. But if you are writing the higher level of exam, it will be also helpful for your answer writing. Like civil services, you need to quote the report, you need to justify your arguments, right? So the readings are also important. Now, profits and poverty, the economics of forced labor. This is a report released by International Labour Organization. International Labour Organization, okay? And it says that because of illegal work, forced labor especially, specifically, because through that, some people are earning 36 billion dollars per year. So these are all illegally generated money. Illegally in the sense, only labor is legally allowed, that 18 years above should be there and they should pay this much. So by not following these rules, regulations across the world, the illegal money that is generated from forced labor is 36 billion rupees. So these are all unregulated money, right? Now, what are all the other observations? There are 2-3 observations as well to be remembered for our exam. The annual illegal profits from forced labor, by forcing someone to enter into the labor without paying properly and beyond certain age limit. So the highest one is Europe. You can see Europe continent countries, they keep saying that like developing countries like India should follow rules and regulations. There is a human rights violation and all. But the report has proved that Europe is the highest continent which are promoting the illegal forced labor, right? So this is a slap on them to take care of the reality, right? So Europe followed by the Central Asia are highest illegally earned forced labor continents, right? Also, more than forced labor, it was illegally earned money was from forced commercial sexual exploitation like prostitution. So this was the major chunk illegally earned. Approximately 73% of money, illegal money that was generated is from the commercial sexual exploitation, right? The prostitution and all. So this is very dire situation that the world is in, ignoring the human values as well. There were around 27.6 million engaged in the forced labor. Illegally, 27.6 million labor was engaged in the labor. So these are all really an important data if you are writing civil service exam. So these are observations to be noted in your exams, right? Now, who is International Labour Organization? That is also important, right? So this is again an United Nations agency which main aim is to take care of the nature of work in the countries. So it should be peaceful, the work should be equally distributed, the money should be equally distributed. So it take care of world for work. So it should be all considered equally in terms of work. Its mandate is to advance the justice among the people. So justice is very costly. You can see example in India itself. Whoever has money, so they can recruit the highest paid lawyer and they can easily win the judgment. I mean, this is a natural in most of the countries, but anyway, it is not legal thing. So that is not the objective of the justice. It should be equally available to everyone. So this is striving for the justice and then decent work for all. Also, its headquarters same as World Meteorological Organization, that is Geneva, Switzerland, and it is also member of United Nations Development Program, which is promoting or which is aiming to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030, right? So these are all the facts about the International Labour Organization. Fine, so those are the articles for today. Okay, we have few more details about the International Labour Organization. It was created in 1919 through the Treaty of Versailles. So Treaty of Versailles, if you are a person who know the world history, was signed between the Axis powers and the Allied powers, that is USA, Japan. Japan was Allied power in the World War I. In World War II, it became Axis powers, right? So against the Germany, Russia, UK, these are all one side. So they have signed the Germany to submit their military, and also the treaty is called as Treaty of Versailles. And this International Labour Organization was established in 1919 through Treaty of Versailles to promote the peace and universal peace lasting for more years, right? So this became a United Nations organization in 1946. It was established in 1919 but became UN member in 1946. Currently it has a 187 members, same like World Meteorological Organization. And this is the only tripartite UN agency which brings not only governments but private agencies, employers, everyone together, they can discuss about the issue. This is the only such organization in the world. And India is the founding member. India became member even in 1990 during British India itself, right? So that is about the article for today. Now let's see about the factual pointers. There are 3-4 facts which are relevant for our exam. As you haven't asked any query. Yeah, who comes under forced labor like child or age? See, forced labor means not just about the child. There are many criteria. 18 years is the minimum criteria across the world. So if any child below 18 works forced, so that is also forced labor. It is not a naturally occurred labor. Also, the wages for a day work, we need to pay 500 rupees, for example. For a day work, 500 rupees. And if they are not paying that, and if they are paying only 200 or anything less than 500, that is also forced labor. Even though I am working with my willing to earn this 200 rupees, but this is a forced one because I am in a dire situation, I am ready to work for 200. But the global rules are to give at least 500 rupees for that work. So it is not just about the child, it is anything against the rules who is working there in the labor as a labor. So it becomes an forced labor, right? It is not just about the age. Now let's see the factual things that was relevant for our exam. Nepal has officially declared Pokhara. So very, very important. They will ask you directly. Pokhara recently declared as a tourism capital for which country? So Pokhara was declared as a tourism capital of Nepal, which is located in Gandaki province. Okay. So Nepal has declared Pokhara as a tourism capital for its country. Next one, Maharshi Ayurveda Hospital, which is located in Delhi. It is located in Delhi. It has launched the first Ayurvedic kitchen in India. So the hospital is also important, which city is also important. And what is this Ayurvedic kitchen? They prepare the food based on the visitor's health. Say for example, if some person is having diabetes, so certain food is avoided, like rice or rich or fat, bad cholesterol like foods, it is avoided. So based on the person's health, the food is prepared and given to the individual. So this is the India's first Ayurvedic kitchen, right? Next one, International Day for Happiness. Today is the International Day of Happiness. See, happiness is the most important, most valuable thing in this world. You should not always materialistic that you want this one, I want to become IAS officer, I want to become engineer, whatever. So these are all subparts. We never know what will happen in our life. And many people who are even in the ministers, IAS officers, they are struggling in the life. So you should always be happy. do your work every day, what you call like give your 100% on daily basis. So that is sufficient. You will achieve your goals through the help of time. Time will take care about your destiny, right? So today we are celebrating the World Happiness Day, right, on March 20th, and the theme is reconnecting for happiness, building resilient communities. So the theme is also very, very important, right? So that is about the today's news. Now let's move to the practice questions for today's session, whatever we have discussed, right? Yeah. First question for today. Okay. Among the following cities, this was asked in UPSC prelims 2018. Okay, so let's Dinesh Kumar, which kind of current affairs questions will be asked in SE? It is same as civil service or focused on engineering related current affairs only? It is not focused only on engineering services. It can be anything, but unlike civil services, there is a more factual questions in the engineering service. If you see the question papers of this year, engineering service, you can see that there is a lot of factual questions. They have asked rankings also. They have asked about some report about the rankings, where India is placed, top countries, top 5 are among European. So it is general current affairs, whatever we are discussing. It is not about only the engineering. At least 15 questions are from current affairs. This year 86 to 100 question numbers are from current affairs. They can be general, they can be related to sports. There was a question on sports, there was a question on science, there was a question on polity as well, there was a question on history as well, current affairs, whatever. So you have to learn everything, right, on daily basis. It is not only about the engineering. Now, the first question, among the following cities, which one lies on longitude closest to that of Delhi? Longitude that is closest to the Delhi. So longitude means this is Earth, so this is equator, so these are all latitudes. These are all latitudes, 1 degree. So as this is 180-degree phase, backside 180 degrees will be there anyway. So this is latitude and this is longitude, right? So these are longitudes. Now they are saying that on which longitude the city of Delhi, similar to city of Delhi, say for example here it is India, okay? Now I am erasing this. So this is India, for example. So here it is Delhi. So on the same Delhi, which city is located? So which city are located on the same longitude, right? Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Nagpur, Pune. So answer is yes, it is Bengaluru. The same longitude, Bengaluru is located on same longitude that of Delhi, and Hyderabad is here, it is not on the same, and then Nagpur is here, right? Pune is somewhere here. So Bengaluru is exactly almost lies on the same longitude that of Delhi, right? So answer is Bengaluru. Right. Yes, all of you are correct. Sandhya, Rachna, Trida, Rajkumar, Malni, all of you are correct. So I am really happy that you have guessed this answer correctly. Okay. Next one. Consider the following statements regarding Agniban suborbital technological demonstrator. Sorted. So we have seen this, right? So we have discussed this. Srinath, yes, answer is A only, Bengaluru. It is a single stage launch vehicle entirely developed by ISRO. So that is the first statement. Second one, it is designed for launch from multiple launch ports. So this rocket can be launched from multiple ports, they are saying, the second statement. It will feature the world's first single piece 3D printed engine designed and built indigenously. So these are the, understand it, don't just blindly. So they are saying that there is a single launch vehicle which was completely developed by ISRO. Second one is, it is designed to launch from multiple launch ports. So it can be launched from one or A, B, C, it is designed for multiple launch ports. And this is the first engine that was developed using 3D technology. So what is the answer? So this is a private one. We have discussed this is the first private developed launch pad. So first statement stands wrong. Second, yes, it can be launched from multiple ports. Third, it will feature the world's first single piece 3D printed engine. That is also correct, built indigenously. So answer is B. Yes, Subrat, Ramya, Sandhya, Dinesh Kumar, every one of you correct. Only some people have answered it as A. It is not A only, but it is also second statement is also correct. That's what we have discussed. Okay. Next one. Women, Business and the Law report was recently published by. This is how the questions are framed from reports. Okay. So Women, Business and Law report was recently published by World Economic Forum, International Labour Organization, World Bank and United Nations Women. Right. So we have seen it is not World Economic Forum. We haven't discussed that right. So you have to at least remember that. And then not United Nations Women. So you may confuse between World Bank and International Labour Organization. Women, Business and Law report was published by yes, World Bank. Right, 77% or 77 cents earned by women for 100 cents by men. Right. So answer is C. Why there are multiple answers? There was A, there was B. Why there is a confusion? It is World Bank. We have discussed, isn't it? So yes, Srinath, Malini have answered it as correct. Sandhya, Trida, Rajkumar, Rachna. Yes. So most of you have answered it is World Bank. Next question. This is also taken from UPSC previous question about International Labour Organization. Okay. So with reference to International Labour Organization, consider the following statements. It is an independent non-profit organization that aims providing financial assistance and employment opportunities to the developing nations. So that is the first statement. The standard set by ILO is non-binding in nature. Non-binding means it is not mandatory. Then India is a founding and a permanent member of International Labour Organization. So this is a little bit tricky question. You have to apply your mind to especially answer the second statement. So what is the answer for this? Fourth question. Okay, let's go ahead with the discussion. Now, first one, it is an independent non-profit organization. First thing, it is not a non-profit organization. It is under UN, right? Also, it does not provide any financial assistance to the developing nations. It just collects the data, publishes the report, and give information to the public. So, first statement stands wrong, and we got the answer already, right? So, anyway, we will see the second statement. The standards set by ILO are non-binding in nature. Yes, if it is binding, if it is mandatory, then why countries will join? There are 187 countries. India itself will not join if someone forced conditions are keeping related to the work, right? So second statement is correct. India is a founding and permanent member. Yes, India joined in 1919 and this is a permanent member, right? There are some temporary members as well, but India is a permanent member. So answer is B. I don't know why only few students have answered it, but we have discussed this. You have to apply your knowledge and you have to answer it. Okay. So Srinath has answered it as correct. It is B. Last question for today. Signal Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group was recently established by. Signals Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group was recently established by Ministry of Defence, Ministry of Science and Technology, Niti Aayog and Indian Army. Very direct question. We have discussed this. So it is not Niti Aayog, first thing you can eliminate, right? And it is also not any Ministry of Science and Technology. You may confuse between these two. Anyway, it was, you can sometimes, if it is not Indian Army, some other ministry was there, you can choose. But the most appropriate, some questions will be there in exams where There seems to be two correct answers, but you need to choose the best possible, the correct, most suitable answer. So this is answer D, Indian Army. Yes, all of you are correct. Dinesh Kumar, it is not A. Okay. Subrat, Ramya, Srinath, you have Malini, Rachna, Rajkumar. Yes, you have answered it as correct. So that is about today's session. I hope you have enjoyed this session, and thanks a lot for the support. Keep following, keep preparing, keep giving your all efforts. We are discussing from all the newspaper, so try to cover them on daily basis rather than accumulating at the last minute, right? So it will surely helpful. I can tell one proof as well. Recently ABPSC exam has happened from group 1 exam. So there were approximately out of 30, there were 9 current affairs questions that directly we have discussed in the last 2 months. So they will keep asking, so do it on regular basis. Okay, so thank you, thanks a lot, and have a great evening.